Yo, 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 yo. Man, y'all know what it is, man. Y'all know what today is. It's Thursday, and the topic of the day is Larry Hoover's sentence in the federal penitentiary has been commuted by none other than your president, my president, Donald Trump. Donald J. Trump. Um, we're not gonna talk about that though. There's plenty of people getting on that topic. They get on that subject. So we're gonna do something a little different. We're gonna take a walk back in history and in time and see what led up to Mr. Hoover's arrest in the federal penitentiary. And as we go through this video, this is August 31st, 1995, Operation Headache Takedown, 39 Gangster Disciple members. So we're gonna see what this is about. And this was done by Channel 2 News. So y'all can go check this out. I'll post a channel up, but y'all shit, man, y'all know what to do, man. So we're just gonna get into the content. Let's go.
WBBM TV. This is Chicago's news. 2 News at 6.
Good evening. Topping Chicago's news at 6. A federal crackdown on Chicago's largest and most notorious street gang. A 6-year investigation by local, state, and federal officials called Operation Headache has resulted in the indictments of 39 suspected members of the Gangster Disciple street gang. And reputed gang leader Larry Hoover has been transferred from a state prison to federal custody to face the charges. Channel 2's Mike Parker is live at the Dirksen Federal Building with the latest. Mike.
Mariette, according to U.S. Attorney James Burns, the hierarchy of the drug-dealing Gangster Disciples drug operation has now been decimated by these 39 indictments today. We have, Burns said today, cut off the head of the snake.
The federal case against the gang grew out of this raid in April. Federal agents raided 2 businesses linked to imprisoned gang leader Larry Hoover and his wife. In addition to finding $67,000 in cash, investigators got their first look at file cabinets full of records and documents. What they found helped lead to the indictments today of gang leader Larry Hoover and 38 of his lieutenants.
They have had a 25-year conspiracy going in this area that is clearly charged in the indictment, and the heart of the conspiracy was to distribute coke, crack, heroin, and marijuana.
Although he's been in prison on murder charges, authorities say Larry Hoover has been the gang's primary policymaker, and that policy was enforced through violence, physical beatings, up to and including murder. And firms like those targeted in that April raid were apparently involved. Narcotics profits were laundered, the indictments say.
You know, it's no different from the Italian mafia. Italian mafia had rules. You know, they kicked your ass or did shit. Most of the time, worst case scenario, they put you down. You know, shit. What's his name? Jimmy Hoffa still ain't been found yet. So let's go.
Through legitimate businesses, and the gang's drug dealers were allegedly ordered to pay political money to the gang's political arm, the group known as 21st Century Vote. A leader of that group, former aldermanic candidate Wallace Gator Bradley, today decried the indictments.
I think the people in the community need to see that this is a continuation of a movement against any black organization that stand up for the betterment of their people.
One of the 39 suspects indicted today is Chicago police officer Sonia Irwin. Today, Police Superintendent Matt Rodriguez would say only that she was part of the conspiracy and is expected to surrender. Rodriguez would not comment on a report that Sonia Irwin was in fact living with the number 2 leader of the Gangster Disciples. So far, 22 of the 39 suspects are now in custody. The others are being sought. Mike Parker reporting live from the Dirksen Federal Building. Bill, back to you.
Well, Michael, Larry Hoover is not exactly a name known in most households, but cops, the FBI, and community leaders know him as the powerful leader of the Gangster Disciples. Hoover is a convicted murderer serving a 150 to 250-year prison term. But Hoover told Channel 2 News that he changed and wants to help young.
So the stories that I've been told that he killed a couple of his own members. So I don't know if, you know, for whatever reason, but that's what I've been hearing as a kid growing up that he killed a couple of his members. Now I don't know if he's been charged with any other kind of, murder or whatever, but 150 years to 200 years, yeah, you got all that time because you was somebody's leader and they was trying to really put you away.
Black men. Hoover is largely responsible for a summit that produced a gang truce. The rate of violence dropped. Now,
It's people that have killed their parents. Well, the Menendez brothers, they ain't letting them out, but other people have murdered and done other things, and they have gotten out. They've done 30 years, 20 years, went up for parole. This man, they did that all because he was a leader, and everybody knows this. So it's no secret that they was trying to cut the head off the snake at this time. They figured if they try to eliminate him, everything else would diminish. But we know that's not true.
some community leaders say Hoover is a scapegoat for prosecutors.
It's a shame that a person that has so much influence, positive influence in the community, is being, I would think, his true story is not being told.
Despite Hoover's alleged help with the gang summit, his parole has been denied 13 times.
Law enforcement officials hope Operation Headache proves to be a fatal headache from which the gangster disciples will not recover. Many decent, hardworking people in disciple neighborhoods are applauding today's raids and indictments. But just as many question if they'll really do any good. Channel 2's Sylvia Gomez joins us with that part of the story. Sylvia?
Marianne, the reaction has been interesting. In fact, a lot of people are indeed applauding what happened today. But sadly,
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. At the time, man, it was a lot going on. Just like now, people would, getting murdered, kids was, getting hit in the projects. They were shooting at each other from the buildings, from the rooftops, man. All kind of shit was going on. So, yeah, solely is blamed on the people who caused the harm in the community. So yeah, I could see why people was applauding and why they were happy at this time, to see Mr. Hoover get locked up and to see the gang kind of, diminish a little bit. But we all know what happened after this. After this, around 96, 97, 98, man, it just became shit like that Kurt Russell movie, Escape from New York. Everybody just started wilding, so nah, it didn't do no good.
they admit they don't believe anything is going to change. Oh yeah, they believe that for a couple of days, maybe a GD member won't be selling drugs on this corner. Maybe for a couple of days, that same member won't be intimidating somebody on that corner. But ultimately, things are going to cool down. Maybe by next week, maybe by next month, it'll be business as usual. You look around some of the neighborhoods the gangster disciples rule and you see life goes on. Children still play, Double Dutch still swings. But even the children like Kenyatta Washington know about the GDs and the destruction that follows them.
They teaching these little young kids around here how to sell drugs, how to do drugs. They don't care once they sell people that stuff. They don't know what it can do to them.
There isn't even a time many here at Stateway Gardens can recall life without GDs or life without reputed leader Larry Hoover. It's the mothers who most fear him. It's the mothers who are the most resigned to his power, even if it is from behind.
So y'all gotta understand, right? Check this out, right? The kids at that time were kids. The kids today will probably look at these kids, some of these are your parents too. Some of these are your parents. Now, I don't know what's going on today, but a lot of these girls you see here, some of these, and that lady right there, she probably somebody great grandma by now. You see what I'm saying? Not the lady in the black, but the one with the earrings. You know, the one, if y'all can see right there with the earrings right there. I don't know if y'all can see that, but she's standing in a circle with them little girls right there, man. Them y'all mamas, grandmamas, man. Now great grandmamas. What happened? You see them saying, yeah, this, that, and the third, but we know it wasn't everybody. You know what I'm saying? I could send an order and say, hey, do this, do that. And then shit, a couple of my people just, can twist some shit around to make it benefit them. Everybody's done that. that's been throughout history. So I ain't gonna say it was everybody at that time, but it was some no nonsense members at that time too that didn't play. Yeah, they was like the California Crips and Bloods. They was willing to die for this shit. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, but at the same time though, it wasn't everybody. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't everybody. It was just those bad seeds. You know what I'm saying? That was planted, man. And they put in the work. You know what I'm saying? They was able to climb up the ranks. And so hey, this what you have, destruction. I don't think Mr. Hoover ever intended, when he started, switching it over for any of it to be the way it was at that time in 95 either. I don't think he was willing. I don't think he wanted it to go that route. I think, yeah, I ain't gonna say everybody's hands was clean, because he was convicted of murder first, before the federal indictment. So I'm not gonna say his hands was clean at all. We all done some things. So yeah, this why everything led up to what it led up to at this time. And then after this time, everything just exploded. So let me get back to the content. Y'all get what I'm saying, right?
In bars.
They're gonna always honor Hoover. These boys, they're gonna listen to Hoover regardless, wherever he at. They still gonna be out here for him. Doing his work and whatever it is, that he want them to do, that's just what they're gonna do.
So Hoover's still king?
It's gonna be like that. I guess until he dies.
It's not fair. Y'all just taking them off for nothing. Them my folks.
He's one of them, he says, a gangster disciple defending the alleged leaders busted today. What none of us understands, he claims, is that drugs and violence are necessary evils, that Robert Taylor homes need the disciples. And there are those who agree.
Well, what about all the drugs and the violence?
We getting it from y'all. We getting that from
He said we getting it from y'all. Meaning white folks. We getting it from y'all. He ain't lying. We are.
We don't create, we don't grow it. That get delivered here, and we just get it out here.
See.
And that's the only way we can survive.
They say selling drugs and everything.
Let's see. Y'all bring it here. Y'all bring it to us. And this is how we make money. But here's the thing, black man. Here's where y'all messed up at. Let's be real. Everything that glitter ain't gold, man. Just because somebody hang you $1 million doesn't mean that you don't have to do nothing for it. No, you might not have to do nothing that day, that week, that year, 10 years. But that person will come back and say, hey, especially when you're doing good and they gonna come back and say, hey man, I need that favor. Remember that $1 million I gave you? This is what they did. They say, hey, we need a favor. We need to fill up these jails. We need these roads built. We need all kind of shit done. You know what I'm saying? These license plates need to be made. Y'all grandfathers and great grandfathers getting old. So we need y'all to come on. This the trade-off. We let y'all make some money. Hope y'all save y'all money, invest and do something. But when they did, some of them did, they came and took it. So, I mean, back then, y'all was better off burying y'all money in the damn sand somewhere and putting the marker by it. So 50 years later, when you need it at this time, you can go get it. And you know what I'm saying? The economy wouldn't be so bad because now it's fucked up. Ain't nobody doing nothing like this like they was back then today.
That's a way of life. That's a way a lot of people feeding their kids. If it wouldn't be for drugs, a lot of kids wouldn't even eat.
Now, some even say the gangster disciples are a positive influence. All admit, Bill, they are a powerful influence, and it's going to take more than just one sweep to take them out.
Thanks, Sylvia. So what does the crackdown mean to the people who live there? The executive director of the Chicago Crime Commission says it's good news in the short term.
I think there'll be a noticeable drop for a while in violent gang-related crime. In the last 4 months, this gang is responsible for 42 murders in Chicago, just in 4 months, in just one gang. 16 shootings where the people didn't die, the victims didn't die.
So he said 4 months, 42 murders. That year, it was like 873 something, like 71, 870 something murders that year. So in the first 4 months, or in 4 months, they committed 42 murders. So what about the other 800 and something? You see what I'm saying? So everybody was doing a little something back then. Quiet as kept. You see what I'm saying? Everybody was laying somebody down. I don't think it was just, black folks and gangs and just drugs. I think it was just a whole bunch of things, domestic violence that leads to murders and, car accidents, drunk driving, those kind of things, man. I don't think, you know what I'm saying? I don't think everything was just drug related and gang related, like they trying to make it seem. 42 is shit. It's not a lot compared to the 2000s. Motherfuckers was, getting it first 2 months, after the New Year's. Motherfuckers was just, New Year come around, motherfuckers was just getting it 30, 40 in the first 2 months. This motherfucker talking about 4 months. But it was a different time back then, and you could have got away with a lot back then. It's just crazy that it wasn't no cameras back then, and it's cameras now. And then we got all these YouTube channels, and we got all these podcasters and interviewers and the interviewee and all this shit, man. And everybody telling these motherfuckers had to work to catch a motherfucker. That's what's so crazy about this. You know what I'm saying? They had to work to catch these guys. You guys today just get on here and talk about your case, and it's open, and you know what I'm saying, most of y'all ain't done no time for it and all kind of shit, man. But this shit is crazy though, but it's still nothing compared to the rest of that year, you know what I'm saying? And all of it wasn't black on black, man. We not gonna do that.
And they're present in 22 states, 66 cities,
But again, this is
80 counties in Illinois.
But in the long run, Kirkpatrick says he expects violent crime to resume an escalating curve. Even with today's gang sweep, the question remains, will the arrests really curb crime? We'll take a look at that issue tonight at 10.
It made it worse. It made it worse. It did, y'all. It just made everything worse. Yeah, so I'm gonna conclude this, man. It's about time for me to go on and get myself together for the day. But yeah, I just want to say shout out to Donald Trump, man, for commuting Mr. Hoover's sentence from the federal penitentiary. In the state, he might have a chance for parole, but they said they already denying that first rip. So well, he been in there too long, man. I don't really see him doing too much now. It just, it's just impossible to come out after all them years just to get right back into it. I think you kind of want to enjoy life once you get free from prison from all those years. You know what I'm saying? I mean, to me, I would, you know. So, and he's from the old school, so I don't think he would want to just, all right, let's get to it. No, they already been getting to it while he's been away. So I'm pretty sure he'd be well taken care of once he touched the streets. But other than that, y'all, the media is bringing this back up for whatever reason. They trying to keep people. They trying to keep people down. They trying to remind people. Let me say that they just trying to remind people. See how they can remind people of shit like this, but shit that these politicians do, shit that other people do, they don't remind us of that. They don't play old clips and old tapes of these things these people did, way back then. You know what I'm saying? But they still remind us of what we've done way back then. You know what I'm saying? And this is how they play them games, man. So I don't know why they bringing this up, trying to remind people, oh, Larry Hoover was a bad person. Man, we all sinners. That's why they made the movie. We all bad in some kind of way. We all done wrong. You know what I'm saying? But hell, ain't it's their job to see if the man got some kind of redemption? And it's their job to find out the man really about what he's saying. That's their job, right? They supposed to, give him counseling or see where he at mentally, right? That's what I thought. How you got a man up in there all them years and you don't check his mental? You know what I'm saying? Come on, man. You don't sit down with him and talk to him, see where his head at all these years. So something ain't right. Something just ain't right, man. So I just hope, man, that the state, you know, we need to get the Prisker and all of them up out of here. Get somebody in here, man, that's gonna look at this shit for what it is, see what these people talking about, they really reformed or not, and then go from there. We're not gonna play these games like this dude is still dangerous after all these years. And we're not gonna play games either about Jeff Ford. Like he's been dangerous after all these years. These guys ain't been, come on, man. Come on, man. They don't need to do anything. Shit. It's just like the Godfather. When the Godfather sitting there dying, he don't do shit but sit there and die. It's everybody else around him that do all the fucking work. He too old. He dying. He out of there. Fuck shit. What, a will? Motherfucker leave a will about what he want motherfucker to do, and everybody ain't gonna follow it. Shit. So come on, man. Y'all gotta use common sense, man. Cut the bullshit. Just stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Let the man be in peace. Let the man come home. Y'all stop bringing up this old shit. You know what I'm saying? We understand, the situation at hand. That was in 1995. This is 2025. We talking about 10 years later. Let that man come home, man. Let that man be with his family. Let that man die at home in peace, man. He ain't got nowhere where else to go but to the grave. So let him let him live it out. You know what I'm saying? What y'all think he gonna live to 120 running shit? Man, y'all crazy, man. Y'all act like he Paul Visceral or something from Goodfellas, man. Come on, man. Y'all y'all tripping, man. But anywho, man, I'm gonna get up out of here. Shout out to Donald Trump. Shout out to Kanye and Drake and all them for, advocating and trying to make it happen, man. And what's my man name? Rap a lot. Jay Prince. Shout out to you too. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to all y'all and the family of Larry Hoover and all the people that stood by him. You know what I'm saying? Man, it's a good thing, man. He needs to come home, man. And but everybody needs to come together and get the younger people together. That's what needs to happen, man. They need to these younger people, man. They kind of wild, and black people need to start producing some kind of revenue in the neighborhood and not doing it negatively. We need to try to own some banks or something, man, some hospitals, man, and put our people in there to work. You know what I'm saying? Get these youngsters some training. A lot of us been trained wrong and got our ways. We stuck in our ways because we older. We fucked up. But the younger ones, man, we can get them a better chance. You know what I'm saying? We could train them the right way because the Bible says train a child in the way he should go. He should never depart from it. So I believe if you train a child the right way, things could be a little different. You still gonna have your knuckleheads. You still gonna have the ones that slow. You still gonna have the people that can't read. You still gonna have the people that's, been molested and want to be violent. And you know what I'm saying? You still gonna have those people in the world. I'm not saying the world's gonna be perfect. But what I'm saying is it give, some people some hope, man. It'll help some people get some people out there, neighborhood. So that being said, man, y'all be smooth, man. Hope you enjoy the content, man. I'm out. Peace in the Middle East. But I can't, because they won't let me. They won't let me because I can't. Peace.